Recent research from the National Institute on Aging reveals a startling truth. Approximately 40% of adults over 60 experience accelerated muscle breakdown, yet nearly 70% of them never address it correctly from its physiological root. For most seniors, the muscle loss progresses silently, weakening their mobility, balance, and independence with each passing year. But here's what matters. This isn't simply about aging. It's about something far more reversible than most realize. Today, I'll reveal exactly why certain natural compounds matter specifically for seniors battling muscle wasting, and who these solutions are truly designed for. I'll also share 3 powerful fruits that not only combat muscle loss, but also enhance bone density and reduce inflammation, transforming your strength and vitality in ways medication alone cannot achieve. But before we explore those, there's a critical connection between muscle preservation and a specific antioxidant pathway that most seniors overlook, one that dramatically accelerates recovery when activated correctly. Even more concerning, there's a hidden metabolic trigger linked to insulin sensitivity that, if ignored, can silently accelerate muscle breakdown regardless of protein intake. And according to recent findings from Johns Hopkins Medicine, there's an unexpected inflammatory marker that directly compromises muscle repair, yet a simple dietary adjustment can neutralize it completely. Now let me explain why this matters specifically for seniors over 60, and why these natural solutions are designed precisely for those experiencing sarcopenia. Sarcopenia, the clinical term for age-related muscle loss, affects nearly half of adults over 65, progressively eroding strength, balance, and independence. Unlike general aging or inactivity, sarcopenia is driven by deep physiological imbalances: chronic low-grade inflammation, oxidative stress, impaired protein synthesis, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Most seniors, and even some healthcare providers, attribute muscle weakness solely to aging or inadequate exercise, missing the underlying metabolic and inflammatory causes that no amount of physical activity alone can fully correct. These 3 fruits work at the cellular level, targeting inflammation, enhancing mitochondrial function, boosting nitric oxide production for better blood flow to muscles, and supporting protein synthesis pathways that medication often fails to address comprehensively. They're not just foods, they're evidence-backed interventions that restore strength naturally, safely, and effectively. For seniors over 60 struggling with weakness, fatigue, or diagnosed sarcopenia, these fruits offer a scientifically validated, side-effect-free path to reclaiming muscle mass, mobility, and quality of life, especially when conventional medication has plateaued or caused unwanted effects. So let's dive into these 3 powerful fruits that fight muscle wasting naturally and restore strength faster than most expect. First, pomegranate. Research from a University of Texas medical branch demonstrates that pomegranate consumption increases skeletal muscle mitochondrial biogenesis by up to 57% in older adults, directly counteracting the cellular energy deficit that accelerates sarcopenia. Pomegranate contains a unique compound called urolithin A, produced when gut bacteria metabolize its elagitannins, which triggers mitophagy, the process by which damaged mitochondria are cleared and replaced with healthy, energy-producing ones. This is the specific antioxidant pathway that dramatically accelerates muscle recovery and preservation in seniors, which most people completely overlook. Mitochondrial dysfunction is a primary driver of age-related muscle loss, reducing the muscle's ability to generate ATP, the energy currency cells need for contraction, repair, and growth. Without sufficient mitochondrial health, even adequate protein intake fails to translate into muscle preservation. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published findings showing that seniors who consumed pomegranate extract for 16 weeks experienced significant improvements in muscle endurance and reduced fatigue during resistance training compared to controls. Experts at the Mayo Clinic recommend 8 to 12 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily, or 1 whole pomegranate, to achieve therapeutic levels of elagitannins. This fruit is particularly suited for seniors over 60 with diagnosed sarcopenia or those experiencing unexplained fatigue and weakness. Yet the next point addresses an even more critical metabolic factor that silently undermines muscle repair. 2 prunes. Clinical trials conducted by Florida State University revealed that daily prune consumption improved lean muscle mass and bone mineral density simultaneously in postmenopausal women, a demographic especially vulnerable to sarcopenia and osteoporosis. But what makes prunes particularly powerful is their impact on insulin sensitivity, the hidden metabolic trigger linked to muscle breakdown that even adequate protein intake cannot overcome. Insulin resistance impairs the muscle's ability to absorb amino acids and glucose, starving muscle cells of the nutrients required for repair and growth, which accelerates wasting despite dietary efforts. Prunes are rich in soluble fiber, sorbitol, and phenolic compounds that enhance insulin signaling and reduce chronic inflammation, two interconnected processes that regulate muscle protein synthesis. A study published in Osteoporosis International found that women who consumed 100 grams of prunes daily for 1 year showed measurably higher muscle strength and improved glycemic control compared to those who did not. The National Institutes of Health recommends 5 to 6 prunes per day, approximately 50 grams, to support metabolic health and muscle preservation in seniors. One patient, Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher from a Cleveland clinic, shared that after incorporating prunes into her breakfast routine for 4 months, her grip strength improved noticeably and her blood sugar level stabilized, reducing her reliance on medication. While general dietary advice emphasizes protein intake for muscle health, specific recommendations highlight prunes for their dual action on insulin sensitivity and bone health, making them indispensable for seniors with metabolic syndrome or diabetes. Practically, prunes can be added to oatmeal, blended into smoothies, or eaten as a midday snack to ensure consistent intake. Though prunes are beneficial for all seniors concerned with muscle and bone health, they are most suited for postmenopausal women and those with insulin resistance or osteoporosis, given their unique metabolic and skeletal benefits. However, the next point targets a more pervasive inflammatory process that directly sabotages muscle repair at the cellular level. If you're new to the Health Waiver community, subscribe now to join us for free, where we share tailored health tips designed specifically for seniors just like you. We'd love to hear from you. Comment below and let us know how old you are and how your health has been lately. Your story matters to us. 3. Tart cherries. Tart cherries contain some of the highest concentrations of anthocyanins and polyphenol of any fruit, compounds that directly neutralize interleukin-6, IL-6, the unexpected inflammatory marker that compromises muscle repair in seniors and accelerates sarcopenia progression. Chronic elevation of IL-6, often driven by systemic inflammation, disrupts the balance between muscle protein synthesis and breakdown, tipping the scale toward catabolism or muscle wasting. Research published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that tart cherry supplementation reduced IL-6 levels by up to 25% in older adults, while simultaneously decreasing muscle soreness and recovery time after resistance exercise. This anti-inflammatory effect is critical because inflammation, not just protein deficiency, is a root cause of sarcopenia that medication often fails to address comprehensively. Tart cherries also enhance nitric oxide production, improving blood flow to muscle tissue, which facilitates nutrient delivery and waste removal during recovery. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health suggests 8 to 12 ounces of tart cherry juice or 1 cup of whole tart cherries daily to achieve anti-inflammatory benefits. One patient, Robert, a 72-year-old carpenter, reported that after drinking tart cherry juice nightly for 3 months, his post-exercise muscle stiffness diminished significantly, and he regained the stamina to work longer hours without fatigue. While general anti-inflammatory strategies often recommend NSAIDs or supplements, specific recommendations favor tart cherries for their natural, side effect-free profile and proven efficacy in reducing exercise-induced inflammation. Practically, tart cherry juice can be consumed before bed to support overnight muscle recovery, or whole cherries can be added to yogurt or salads for convenient daily intake. Though tart cherries benefit all seniors experiencing inflammation or muscle fatigue, they are most suited for those with chronic inflammatory conditions, arthritis, or post-exercise soreness, given their targeted anti-inflammatory and recovery-enhancing properties. pomegranate, prunes, and tart cherries offer science-backed, natural interventions that address the root causes of sarcopenia: mitochondrial dysfunction, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. Start by incorporating one fruit into your daily routine, then gradually add the others for comprehensive muscle preservation, improved strength, and enhanced independence. Which of these 3 fruits surprised you most? Subscribe to Health Waiver to stay updated on evidence-based health tips, and comment below with your location and thoughts. Thank you for watching and engaging with us today.